I have a request to make. I need everyone here to close their eyes, and I'm being serious. Close your eyes and imagine. It's 1:42 a.m. and your thumb is a metronome, scrolling through this dunya that we mistake for living. You scroll past a cat doing backflips and more silly debates like who's the best rapper. And suddenly you come across a video. It's a man in dusty clothes, feeding the poor, hugging a child, and smiling, even at his enemies. No fancy ring light, not even a sponsor tag, just a caption. Kindness is strength. Username at Rahmatul Lil Alameen. Would you stop scrolling, or has your qalb learned to swipe past humanity? You can open your eyes. So you see, we live in an age of content creation and influencers where everyone has become like a preacher. You know, get a podcast mic and sit in your bathroom and give khutbahs to people and monetize on vulnerability. But here's the catch. In a world full of noise, the most powerful voice was once a shepherd in the desert, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. A man whose message spread without Wi-Fi, whose truth buried Jahiliyyah while he owned nothing but his akhlaq, and whose legacy is beyond digital but eternal. So, if the Prophet ﷺ was amongst us today, would he be on TikTok or Twitter guiding us with wisdom, or would he be muting us for how we behave? Because if taqwa and sabr were internet trends, the Prophet ﷺ, without a doubt, would be a global influencer. Not for clout though, but for impact. He said, as narrated by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. I was sent only to perfect good character. The Quran also tells us in Surah Qalam, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. And indeed, you are of a great moral character. So, by an honest show of hands, and we're interacting here, by an honest show of hands, how many of us here would follow ourselves on social media if your true personality and intentions were your profile picture? Anyone? Right. So you see, we all care about numbers, just differently. You know, our politicians care about their votes, we care about our followers. But the Prophet ﷺ, he had 0 followers on day 1, but today 2 billion souls live by his teachings, subhanAllah. He had no PR team and no adverts. He was just a man who loved so fiercely that even his enemies became his Sahaba. And while some of our leaders today can't walk 10 steps without a bodyguard and a press team, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was described as a man who would walk amongst the people like he was one of them. No VIP treatment, just a man, once again, who patched his own thobe and fed the masakin before himself. And let's talk about cancel culture too, because today when you say one wrong thing online, you're suddenly cancelled. Meanwhile, when the Prophet ﷺ went to Ta'if and was stoned until his sandals were overflowing with blood, he didn't run away and say, oh, I can't believe I came all the way here. Hashtag boycott Ta'if, everyone. Hashtag fake people everywhere. No. Instead, he prayed to Allah and said, Allahumma ihdi qawmi fa innahum la ya'lamun. Ya Allah, guide my people, for they do not know. He said, guide them, not destroy them. He turned those stones into du'as. And he also said, whoever believes in Allah and in the last day, let him speak good or remain silent. But you see, now we have flipped that. It's just speak your mind, even if it hurts the other person. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala once again warns us in Surah Qaf, where he says, مَا يَلْفِظُ مِنْ قَوْمٍ إِلَّا لَدَيْهِ رَقِيبٌ عَتِيدٌ. Not a word is uttered except that it is recorded. Ittaqillah, fear Allah. And so we retweet justice out there, but then we walk past the beggar outside the masjid. We post solidarity, but then we forget that the Prophet ﷺ himself, he was an active fighter, a muqatil. You know, he freed the slaves, he empowered women, and protected minorities. خير الناس أنفعهم للناس. The best of people are those who are most beneficial to others. So, you see, your influence isn't your aesthetic. And stay with me now, it's your a'mal, your deeds. So the next time you open your social media feed, ask yourself, if the Prophet ﷺ followed me, would he like what he sees? You know, would he see haqq, the truth, or would he see riyah, showing off? Would he recognize me as part of his ummah, or would he gently message me, my dear follower, log off for a bit. Just log off and make some dhikr. And with that, I would like to leave you with one last reminder. أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَتْمَئِنَّ الْقُلُوبِ. With the remembrance of Allah, hearts find rest. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor speaking to you all. I'm Yahya. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.